Hello, my name is Kelly McCown. I'm the teacher, author, and owner of Teaching Math and More. Today on the Teaching Math and More channel, we are talking about how to teach multiplication fluency for everyone in your classroom to help students increase their math skills and competency. Where do you start? The goal of multiplication fluency is to teach your students how to recall multiplication facts. Let's say that again. The goal of multiplication fluency is to teach your students how to recall multiplication facts. Goals are good because they tell us where we need to go. The end goal for multiplication fluency is to have your students be able to recall multiplication facts with no errors. When your students know how to use multiplication math facts through conceptual learning, they will succeed. So, how can you help your students master multiplication fluency? Multiplication fluency is a way of teaching math skills to your students in a meaningful way with fact strategies and memorization. Teaching multiplication fluency doesn't have to be stressful or overwhelming. Let's look at the following steps for multiplication fluency in your classroom. In the introduction video to math fluency, we talked about what math fluency is. We usually hear it called math fact fluency. Students are able to quickly recall math facts like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. This math fluency extends through middle school. Students need to be able to quickly recall math facts through conceptual learning, fact strategies, and memorization. We've talked about addition, subtraction, and today we're going to talk about multiplication. Part 1 of multiplication fluency is flexibility. Having flexibility teaching math facts happens when students interact with multiplication to develop a conceptual understanding. Your students need to explore math facts and build upon the foundation that they have of their math fluency skills. Let's look at some examples. Teaching flexibility for multiplication is using base 10 blocks to multiply for third graders. Here's an example of taking 10 groups of 10 to find the product of 100. Kids can easily group numbers of base 10 blocks by using the manipulatives to help students start to develop that concrete understanding of each number being multiplied to find the final product. This is also great to introduce terms such as factor, product, times, multiply, doubled, tripled. Students need to be introduced to these terms correctly to develop an appropriate understanding of multiplication. Part 2 of multiplication fluency are the strategies. It's where students choose the multiplication strategy to use. It must be an appropriate strategy, so let's look at the top 8 multiplication strategies to use. Here are the 8 strategies. Number 1, multiplying 0 is any number times 0 is always the product 0. Here is 1 times 0, which always equals 0. Multiplying 0 by any number will always result in 0. Number 2, doubles. Doubles are any number greater than 1 multiplied by the same number that has a product called a square number. Example, 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 is considered a square number. Number 3, using a number line. Using a number line to count by groups of a number. Here on this number line, we counted 3 groups of 2 and found the product 6. Number 4, draw a picture. Students can draw a picture with dots or circles to represent groups of a number. Number 5, fact family. Students can use multiplication fact families to quickly find a product. Can also be used to divide. Number 6, repeated addition. A number added multiple times, for example, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12, which is the same as 3 groups of 4 equal 12. Number 7, skip counting. Students count by a number repeatedly to get the products of that number. So when we count by 2s, we count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. And number 8, an array is an arrangement in rows and columns. So here are 2 rows of 4, which equal 8, which can also be written as 2 times 4 equals 8. If you would like this resource, Multiplication Strategies poster, you can find the link and download in the description of this video. Part 3 of multiplication fluency is efficiency. Specifically, when we are talking about math fluency of math facts, it has to be done quickly, rather in 2 seconds or less to recall a math fact. As this continues to extend into middle school, math facts for grades 6 and beyond will also need to be recalled quickly. Let's look at different ways to assess multiplication fluency. So here are the best ways to assess for efficiency. Number 1, a timed test, which can be done in 2 minutes or less. Students demonstrate on a piece of paper which facts they know quickly within a 2-minute timer. Number 2, a running record, which demonstrates how your students are applying strategies to solve math facts. Students share their thinking to solve the math fact problem and give the answer. Running records primarily tracked growth from one period of time to another. Number 3, an interview is orally given by the teacher and asks the student to solve each multiplication fact to the teacher without necessarily having a timer present, but rather answering within a timely manner. This can take away stress or anxiety of a timed test off of your students. Part 4 of math fluency is accuracy. It's the last part and probably the most important one. Practicing and memorizing multiplication facts are accurate and correct only. Be sure to make corrections and share with students only correct answers. Let's look at some ways to practice and memorize correct facts. Number 1, top technique, flashcards. It's a great way to practice math fluency, but even better when you have a partner to check your answer for correctness. It's also great to use and practice with a math center in your classroom. I encourage parents to use a set of math flashcards in the car to practice multiplication. It's a great use of time to get a little bit more practice. These multiplication flashcards are in the Teaching Math and More shop. Number 2, top technique, math fluency practice, which can be easily done with a worksheet that kids can color and solve problems. It's great for kids who need practice but also want to color too. These multiplication worksheets are in the Teaching Math and More shop. And my favorite top technique, games. Math games for multiplication fluency are fun and engaging when they play together at a group or a math center in class. This game is multiplication fluency, where you shuffle the cards and pick a random card that you have to multiply by a certain number and see if you can find the product. The person who covers the most products wins. These multiplication games are in the Teaching Math and More shop. Why is multiplication fluency important? Well, it's because it contributes to students' ability to solve more difficult problems quickly and more accurately. 2, it builds confidence in their ability to solve more difficult problems later on in mathematics. And 3, it leads to success in students' future mathematics courses. There is a solution to the problem of teaching multiplication fluency. Try teaching with a 4-part approach, and you can plan for fluency of mathematics in your student. Grab the math fluency notes for this series today. It's a 5-part video series on how to achieve math fluency. Each quick 6-minute video will give you tips, strategies, and resources to develop a math fluency plan to meet the needs of your students. Get clear on how to help your students achieve math fluency today. The link is in the description of this video. For more information about the Math Fluency video series, be sure to check out the description of this video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified of new videos. Thank you for supporting Teaching Math and More. I'll see you next time for part 4 of the Math Fluency series.